Welcome back here to the Big Show. Restaurants across the country may soon have to post nutritional labels on their menus by law. 4 states have already passed similar laws, and the requirement is included in the Senate version of the health care bill, thanks to Ted Kennedy. But is this national crusade to curb obesity getting too personal and too political? Michael Hansen is the senior scientist for Consumers Union. He supports labels, and against labels is Justin Wilson. He's a senior research analyst for the Center for Consumer Freedom. Justin, let's start with you. You're out there in D.C. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
Why shouldn't we want to know how many calories are in our food when we go into a restaurant?
Let me be clear. I don't necessarily oppose all of the calorie labeling that exists. What I think we need to be clear is that it doesn't take a PhD in nutrition to understand the difference between a bear claw and a banana. One is a healthy breakfast and one is a treat.
Yeah, and they're both I had this morning, by the way. Michael Hansen, my father, I have to say, personal responsibility here. Justin brings up a point about personal responsibility, knowing, but it's not always as black and white as that, is it?
No, it's not. Actually, it turns out there was a study in the American Journal of Public Health, and they found that people, when they went into restaurants with the unhealthy options, they actually underestimated by 600 calories how many calories were in it. So all this is just providing information. People can make the decisions themselves because sometimes they don't realize it. When they passed the law here in New York City and women started to realize that those low-fat muffins were 600 calories, they were shocked and they moved to other products.
It's helped me. Certainly when I see those cards, I have to admit. But Justin, back to your point about personal responsibility, Eric Schlosser in his fantastic book, Fast Food Nation, points out that companies like McDonald's advertising to children, they're not putting calorie counts on there. They're having a happy clown dancing around. Kids don't necessarily know that burger has that many calories, and parents certainly don't really know that as well.
Well, let's be clear. First of all, McDonald's and all these other chain restaurants provide this information to anyone who asks it, and it's always on the wall. It's on their website. They make it as available as possible, but they don't want to throw it in your face. Sometimes a burger should just be a burger, and we should just be able to enjoy it guilt-free. The thing that troubles me so much about menu labeling is that we are going headlong into this policy without a real shred of evidence to suggest that it's actually effective. In fact, 2 of the biggest and most senior obesity researchers wrote an editorial in the Journal of the American Medical Association suggesting that, we don't have the evidence and we're just going to do it. But there's a whole slew of people out there that say there are unintended consequences. And the one that I'm most concerned about is the liability it creates for trial lawyers. In New York and in other cities, these trial lawyers have already filed lawsuits against these restaurants. They say, well, we tested your food and it's got 6 more calories than you said it had. It's millions and millions, if not tens and hundreds of millions of dollars worth of liability.
That could open a Pandora's box on that side of it, Michael. But is there a point, though, that we have information enough about how much this could actually curb obesity? I mean, it seems that people are starting to cite these statistics. Do we know that this works, having calories on a menu?
Well, it's only really happened since March of 2008 when New York City was the first place to do this. But they've already seen changes. For example, there's a sandwich chain here in New York called Cosey's, and as soon as this labeling law went into effect, they actually changed some of their sandwiches, put lower calorie versions on, and those started selling wildly. Also, McDonald's and Denny's and Dunkin' Donuts, they also came up with lower calorie versions, and they sold more. So this is just the market working, and the market's supposed to work when there's information. So you just let people know and let them make their own decisions.
Yeah. We'll have to leave it there,
guys. The market also works.
We'll have to leave it there, and we'll see how it shakes out. If people buy food, they don't. If they don't want the calories, they don't have to eat them. Justin Wilson and Michael Hansen, thanks for both coming in on this Saturday morning. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
My pleasure.
Well, Google